Let's get one thing straight. Bikini Bottom should not exist. It's a cosmic anomaly, a blip in the multiverse, a giant middle finger to everything we know about science, nature, and basic common sense. If you tried to map out how this place works, your brain would collapse under the weight of its contradictions faster than you could say, is mayonnaise an instrument? Because, honestly, even mayonnaise would have a better shot at being an instrument in the real world than Bikini Bottom has of being real. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into why this underwater fever dream defies all known laws of reality. First off, geography. Bikini Bottom is allegedly located at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, near a place suspiciously resembling Bikini Atoll. You know, that little spot in the Pacific where we tested nuclear bombs. Right there, you're thinking, that explains the weirdness, radioactive fallout. But no, the residents of Bikini Bottom don't have extra limbs or glowing eyes. Instead, they have fully functioning cities complete with stoplights, highways, and a surprisingly robust public transportation system. You're telling me this is happening on the seafloor, where there's no sunlight, crushing water pressure, and temperatures colder than my ex's heart? Then there's the fact that Bikini Bottom's entire ecosystem seems to have undergone an identity crisis. Look at Jellyfish fields, an endless meadow of neon, electrified jellyfish floating around like undersea bees. Real jellyfish don't behave this way. In fact, they can barely steer themselves. They drift with the current, minding their own business, not zapping creatures for fun. But in Bikini Bottom, jellyfish are social butterflies who host concerts and willingly participate in games of catch. That's not evolution, it's madness. Now let's talk predators. The ocean is full of them, and if Bikini Bottom were real, its residents would be on the menu 24/7. SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, none of them stand a chance against even a moderately hungry shark. But in Bikini Bottom, apex predators don't exist. Instead, everyone seems to live in harmony, except when someone's stealing Krabby Patty secret formulas. There's no food chain, no survival of the fittest. You could plop a tiger shark into Goo Lagoon, and I guarantee the worst thing it would do is order a Krabby Patty. And let's address the physics of movement. In the real ocean, everything drifts. There's no friction to stop you from floating away unless you anchor yourself down. They've got cars that run on something. Not gas, not electricity, not even algae-based biofuel. Just something. And don't ask how roads stay intact on the sandy ocean floor. Potholes? Washed out highways? Nope, not in Bikini Bottom. Somehow, their infrastructure is more solid than most land cities. How? No one knows. While we're on the topic of infrastructure, explain this. How does a volcano work underwater? There's an entire episode where a lava-spewing volcano erupts in Bikini Bottom, and no one even questions it. The ocean is supposed to cool magma into rock instantly. But no, Bikini Bottom volcanoes just bubble along like they've never heard of thermodynamics. If that weren't enough, their weather also makes no sense. They've got thunderstorms, rain clouds, and even snow. Snow. In an environment that's already wet. Do they just freeze the seawater? Is that how it works? Honestly, I feel like the weather gods are trolling them at this point. And let's not forget time. Bikini Bottom has a day-night cycle. A full, regular day-night cycle. Someone explained to me how that works at the bottom of the ocean, where sunlight barely penetrates past 200 meters. Are they under some kind of magical dome that regulates light levels? Does the Pacific Ocean have a secret skylight no one told us about? More importantly, how do they tell time? Watches, clocks, sundials? None of this should work in an environment with no visible sun or moon. Oh, and biology? Forget it. There's a pufferfish that inflates like a balloon when she's startled, but not in a normal, biological way. It's like she's made of rubber. Don't even get me started on SpongeBob's boating school. How are these fish getting driver's licenses when the concept of driving shouldn't even exist underwater? Boats that run underwater instead of on top of it? What kind of reverse-engineered nonsense is this? Then there's the economy. Bikini Bottom somehow sustains a capitalist society in an environment with no clear resources. Where are they getting their materials, their food, their electricity? Are they mining undersea mountains, farming algae? Is Mr. Krabs secretly running a black market operation? The sheer logistics of it all would make even the most hardened economists cry. Yet Bikini Bottom thrives. They've got industries, businesses, and even a postal system that somehow delivers mail underwater without ruining the letters. Bikini Bottom is a lawless land, or water rather. Sure, they've got police officers, but their justice system is about as consistent as a jellyfish's brain. One day, you're getting fined for jaywalking. The next, someone's openly committing grand theft submarine, and no one bats an eye. They've got superheroes who can't even handle their own retirement, a villainous plankton who somehow hasn't been locked up for life, and residents who casually blow up entire buildings without consequence. If this were the real world, Bikini Bottom would be less of a town and more of a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Alright, so we've already established that Bikini Bottom shouldn't exist, but you want more, huh? You want to dive even deeper into the absurd abyss of why this underwater carnival defies everything we know about reality? Alright, strap in because we're about to take a full-throttle, logic-destroying journey into the heart of this nonsensical aquatic utopia. Spoiler, the more you think about it, the more Bikini Bottom seems less like a place and more like the fevered dream of a marine biologist who fell asleep in a lecture. If Bikini Bottom is located underwater, where does everyone get their oxygen? Sure, fish extract dissolved oxygen through their gills in the real world, but in Bikini Bottom, you've got fish walking around and breathing like they've got fully developed lungs. They talk, they sing, they blow raspberries, activities that all require a steady flow of air.